Good evening and you're very welcome to On The Ball here on W Lords. Myself, Gavin Whelan, with you between now and 7 this evening. Very shortly, reflections on a first win for Republic of Ireland manager Stephen Kenny as Ireland defeat Azerbaijan in Baku by 3 goals to 0. We'll reflect on all that in the company of Paul Lennon of the Irish Daily Star. The opening round of the County Senior Football Championship. We'll reflect on the 4 games that took place, which saw wins for Stradbally, Clashmore, Kinsale Beg, Kilmac Thomas and Kilrossenty. Great weekend on the racing front. John Kiley, what a story that was. We'll look back at that. We'll also look back at Munster's fine victory. Also, a look at the other top sporting stories that dominated the weekend's action.
Nice feed from McLean. Robinson shot. Oh, what a fantastic goal. Callum Robinson, after the week he's had. Great finish, and Ireland lead in the 7th minute. Now Robinson got in behind Medvedev. Chance for him to turn. Is there a second goal in Robinson? Took a deflection. There is 2-0, and it just had to be Callum Robinson. So now we're ready for Josh Cullen. Just floats it in, and Albany, and that's over the line. The Republic of Ireland under Stephen Kenny have their first competitive win.
So today it was good to get the goals and get the victory, and gives us a platform and going into November. So we have the game against Qatar now. Quick turnover, get ready for the game against Qatar and hopefully take that into the November window.
Yeah, very good evening to you. Once again, Monday, the 11th of October. Stephen Kenny says he's hopeful that Saturday night's win over Azerbaijan will boost morale ahead of upcoming fixtures. The Republic of Ireland manager claimed his first competitive win in charge with a 3-0 victory in Baku. Callum Robinson scored twice, while substitute Chidozie Ogbene netted late on in their World Cup qualifier. So yeah, a real morale boosting win. It's certainly been a time coming from the Republic of Ireland's point of view, but Stephen Kenny's side scoring a 3-0 victory, and I believe we've another clip there of the aforementioned Kenny, who says although Ireland can't qualify, the result will take some pressure off him, who said at full time they're going in the right direction.
I thought the importance of a clean sheet, because we haven't kept a clean sheet in the qualifier, and that was very important that we did that. It's only for us now in the last 7 games, bar the 97-minute goal in Portugal, that's the only defeat in the last 7 games, so you can see the improvement in the team.
And to get reaction to Saturday night's 3-0 victory for the Republic of Ireland earlier on this afternoon, I spoke to chief soccer writer with the Irish Daily Star, that's Paul Lennon, to get his take on Saturday's 3-0 victory over Azerbaijan.
Yeah, it was, as you say, it was a long time coming. They had beaten Andorra in one friendly game, but with 12 competitive games without the victory, this was long overdue. And it was comprehensive. I thought it was a reasonable display. It wasn't an outstanding display. But there were 2 key aspects. It was one, that Callum Robinson was very impressive. He could have actually scored a few more goals. He got two well taken goals, particularly the first one. And Gavin Bazunu produced 2 very good saves in the second half to keep Azerbaijan out, because had it gone back to 2-1, it would have been maybe an anxious period for Ireland. I still think they would have won, but if you've got a goalkeeper playing well and you've a striker in form, that can just give you the edge at the 2 ends of the pitch, and that's what happened. Because in the first half, Azerbaijan actually controlled a large part of the first half without really creating too many chances.
Yeah, absolutely. But as you say, a 3-0 scoreline, it was pretty good reading at the end of it, a clean sheet as well at the other end as well. All positives, I suppose, for Stephen Kenny, Paul.
Yeah, well, absolutely. As I say, positive with the result, and up till now there's been a few good performances or spells in games when there's been good performance, but without the results, losing at home to Luxembourg, 1-1 at home to Azerbaijan, that wasn't good. So he's helped his cause on Saturday night with the victory, and as you say, the fact that it was a 3-0 away victory, which is a good result. So it's interesting to see now what happens. They're playing Qatar tomorrow night, and that's only a friendly. And then the team rounds off its World Cup campaign at home to Portugal next month, and then a few days later they go to Luxembourg.
Yeah, absolutely. Busy schedule indeed. But as you say, the aforementioned Callum Robinson, who of course was, I suppose, in the headlines last weekend in terms of COVID vaccines and that, but 2 goals in the first half. Ireland went in 2-0 up, and 2 very good finishes as well, Paul.
Yeah, particularly the first one. And in fairness, there were 2 good moves as well, because there was a bit of purpose to them. They weren't playing the ball around midfield just for the sake of holding on to possession. The ball was moved quickly. Doherty started the first move and moved it across the pitch. And when they got to Robinson from McLean, he struck it really. It was a really outstanding strike, good enough for any occasion. The second one, John Egan intercepted the ball in midfield. And again, he played the ball quickly, and Horgan put in a very good ball to Robinson. Horgan didn't have a particularly great game. He was taken off, but that was a good pass. And then the goalkeeper was poor for the second goal. But again, you have to say that Robinson, bit of pace in the ball, got it on target. If you do that, you've always a chance. So Robinson was buzzing. He had a very good shot just over the bar. Second half, he had a few chances to get his hat-trick. So it's a pity he didn't, because his overall performance was excellent.
Yeah, certainly he was a prolific striker, and as you say, when he gets in around that area, very hard to stop. And as you say, Ireland under Stephen Kenny the last couple of weeks, Paul, not afraid to, I suppose, try these passes, maybe playing a more direct route as well. So maybe some will say maybe the shackles were thrown off even further the other night.
Yeah, as I say, I'm not overly convinced about midfield the other night. I thought Jeff Henrik was probably too far up the pitch and was a bit isolated from Josh Cullen, who I thought had a good game. Now, in fairness to two wing-backs, Doherty and McLean pushed up, and that gave a bit more presence. Horgan, as I say, had an average game. Ida, I was surprised, didn't have a particularly good game, and he was very good last month. So he dropped off the pace a bit. I thought there was one very positive aspect to the second half is when Chidozie Ogbene came on, former Cork City and Limerick player, and he looked like a player who's not afraid to get on the ball and run at defences. He got the goal, a well-taken header at the far post. Goalkeeper again was very poor for it, but still he got up, won the header and got on target. And if you do that, you've always a chance of scoring. So he looks like a lively player. He looks like a bubbly player. Now, he's playing at League One level in England and doesn't play every week. Sometimes he's on the bench. So again, we have to ask, will he be able to deliver against better sides? So definitely, if you win 3-0 away from home, that's impressive. Now the team has got to push on next month, and I'm not sure. I once tried to suggest they'll beat Portugal at home. Could they get a draw against Portugal? Possibly. Could they then beat Luxembourg away? Well, they played like they did the other night with the sharpness up front of a chance. But these two games mean nothing for the group. Ireland could have finished third or fourth. But in terms of where the team's developing, and has it developed in the last 13, 15 months, next month will tell a tale.
It certainly will indeed, and I think that word development is huge. As you say, they play Qatar in a friendly tomorrow night, Paul. But final point before we leave you go, because I know you're under pressure there, but as you say, building momentum now. Obviously we're not going to the World Cup, we know that, and know it with quite some time, but how important is it now that Ireland build on Saturday night's victory and indeed performance?
Well, that's it. They've got to build now, because let's just go back to last month. Azerbaijan at home was poor. Portugal away was good because the team played a defensive game, which you have to do at times against a team of the calibre of Portugal. And defensively, they were solid, caught out late in the game. Okay, that's because Ronaldo was on the pitch and two brilliant headers. So you can't really attach much blame to that. At home to Serbia, the team's completely outplayed for most of the game, but defensively hung on in, so you've got to praise that again. But they've got to get more consistency to their play. They've got to be able to get wins like they did the other night in Baku, where even if you're not playing well, you get a win. And it's about winning games at the end of the day. Developing patterns of play is interesting to a point, but it's winning football matches is what football at that level is all about.
That's what you're going to be judged on, I suppose, at the end of the day. But look, there are positives, and hopefully Ireland can build on taking on Qatar in a friendly tomorrow evening. Paul Lennon of the Irish Daily Star, appreciate your time as always, Paul.
Thank you very much.
We are WLR.
We are Ireland's local station of the year.
Yeah, Ireland back in action tomorrow evening. They take on Qatar, as mentioned there. That international friendly kick-off is at 8:15 at the Aviva Stadium. Meanwhile, in tonight's action, Estonia provide the opposition for Wales in World Cup qualifying this evening. Kick-off for their Group E clash in Tallinn is at 7:45. A win will put Rob Page's side second in the group with 2 games to play. Elsewhere in soccer news emerging from earlier, and Newcastle United are in the headlines again. The new owners are set to hold talks there with manager Steve Bruce, with speculation mounting over his future. It's reported he could be sacked ahead of the club's Premier League clash with Tottenham on Sunday. It'll be their first game since a Saudi-led consortium completed a £300 million takeover last week. Newcastle are currently second from bottom in the Premier League without a win in their first 7 matches. So no doubt there's going to be an interesting week there on Tyneside. And on the domestic front, Waterford FC return to league action this Friday night in the SSE Airtricity League Premier Division, and this one is being billed as one of the crucial games of the season. It certainly is now, following Dundalk's win over Shamrock Rovers last weekend. It's Waterford FC against Finn Harps, 7:45 kickoff at the RSC on Friday night. Regular updates across the evening from Matt Keane from that game. Matt will be out at training during the week as well, and getting the views of manager Mark Bircham and some players ahead of what is a massive game now as the season is closing in. And of course then Friday week, October 22nd, it's live soccer in WLR, the FAI Cup semi-final live from Dublin at Dalymount Park as Bohemians take on Waterford FC. And of course Waterford FC are back up in Dalymount then 3 days later on the Monday night to play them in the league. But it's all about Finn Harps this Friday night, and I'm sure that's something Mark Bircham will be drilling into his players at training during the week. Of course the Derry game didn't go ahead last weekend on account of international call-ups, but it's Waterford FC against Finn Harps at the RSC this Friday with a kickoff time even of 7:45. So certainly the Blues will need the support on Friday night, and it's certainly one we're really looking forward to.
WLR, the sound of Waterford.